What if the Crawleys finally lose everything? Forget the flapper dresses and fox hunts. Downton Abbey 3 might just walk the family straight into disaster. The roaring 20s are nearing their end, and the infamous Wall Street crash of 1929 is creeping closer, threatening to turn their world upside down. Is this truly the final chapter for Britain's most beloved aristocrats? After 12 years of tea, scandal, heartbreak, and grand affairs, Hugh Bonneville, our Robert Crawley, has hinted that maybe the story has run its course. But even he couldn't resist throwing a few tantalizing ideas into the air. One in particular? What if Robert dies? Yes, that would be a seismic moment. After surviving wars, near bankruptcy, and more than a few emotionally fraught dinner conversations, could the Earl of Grantham finally meet his end, peacefully in bed, a heart attack over dessert, a tragic fall over a misplaced corgi? The possibilities are endless and devastating. Fans still carry the heartbreak of losing Sybil and Matthew. Could we really handle another goodbye of that magnitude? Then again, maybe history itself gives this next chapter its dramatic weight. The Crawleys have weathered financial storms before, but the Great Depression could truly bring them to their knees. What happens when even Downton Abbey's money runs out? Does Lady Mary become the estate's last hope, embracing modern business to keep the lights on? Could Edith, now wealthy and respected, offer her aid with just a touch of smugness? And what about the staff below stairs? In a world where service jobs are vanishing, how do Anna and Bates secure their future? How long can Carson ignore the 20th century knocking at his door? The last film, A New Era, dazzled with movie sets and Mediterranean escapes. But this one might go darker, deeper, more uncertain. And that's what makes it compelling. Watching these characters, so long protected by wealth and tradition, finally confront a world that no longer plays by their rules. Or maybe the real tragedy isn't a death at all. Maybe Downton Abbey itself is lost. Imagine the final image, the grand doors closing for the last time, the Crawleys forced to say goodbye, not just to their home, but to a way of life. Of course, they could also just throw another extravagant wedding, welcome a mysterious cousin, and keep pouring the tea. Either way, fans will be there. But there's another path, one that embraces the chaos of change. Maybe Mary turns the Abbey into a boutique hotel to stay afloat. Tom Branson, the progressive son-in-law, might introduce new farming techniques that scandalize the aristocracy. Even Carson might be dragged grumbling into the modern age. Anna and Bates might look beyond service to secure their family's future. Daisy, brimming with potential, could leave to forge her own path. And Thomas Barrow? Maybe, just maybe, he finds the happiness he's long been denied, in a society slowly learning to accept him. Drama, emotion, triumph, and heartbreak. Downton has never been short on any of them. And now, the gates of the estate are swinging open once more. Yes, it's official. The third Downton Abbey movie is in production. The announcement came via the show's official Twitter account alongside a behind-the-scenes video. In it, we see the cast gathered for a table read, with Hugh Bonneville and Michelle Dockery right there, scripts in hand, eyebrow game strong. It feels like a family reunion, if your family wore tuxedos at breakfast and had staff to butter their toast. Michelle Dockery confirms it herself in the video. Production is underway. Focus Features and Carnival Films issued the announcement with all the fanfare of a royal event. This third film is officially the final chapter of the beloved franchise. You can almost hear the Downton theme soaring in the background. Simon Curtis returns to direct after helming A New Era, which scored an impressive 97% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. And no need to worry, most of the original cast will return. Elizabeth McGovern, Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Alan Leach, Penelope Wilton, all returning to their beloved roles. Even Paul Giamatti is back as Harold Levinson, Cora's brother. Because what's a Downton finale without a surprise guest? As for the plot, nothing confirmed. But with the Dowager Countess's poignant farewell in the last film, expect some tearful tributes and heartfelt goodbyes, Julian Fellows knows how to break our hearts in just the right way. Will Mary spar with someone new? Will Barrow climb even higher? Will Maggie Smith somehow defy narrative logic and make one last withering return? Highly unlikely. But we can dream. Is this really the end? Maybe. Maybe not. There were whispers of another season once, but the announcement of this final film seems to silence that. Still, Downton Abbey has taught us that no door ever really stays closed. It just leads into another grand hallway. Whether this final film brings closure, chaos, or one last extravagant party, one thing's certain: fans will be watching. So start polishing the silverware and practicing your best Dowager Countess eyebrow raise. We're going back to Downton one last time, and it's going to be unforgettable. And now, your turn. Should this really be the grand farewell? Or are there still more stories waiting inside those Abbey walls? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're a true fan, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more updates.